I think if you walk into the office or visit your friends while wearing one of these, sooner or later someone will ask the question, what the heck is it? And not just because of the TV test pattern, even if you look past it, it is still not exactly clear how to read this watch. However, here is the thing, despite this dial being really busy and at first glance kind of overcluttered, after wearing this watch for about a week I realized that I might have misjudged its appearances in my unboxing video, and I'll need to come clean about it this time. Hello and welcome back. If you wake up one night thinking I do need a TV test pattern dial watch, well, you are in luck, although your options might be limited. So for those under 25, I will explain what the TV test pattern is along the way. In terms of affordability, Midas limited edition 3-hander collection for 1,550 euros is probably the priciest. The SeaGull TV watch is about 4 times cheaper, but still has a great set of specifications, and the most affordable might be this Pierre Paulin from Merkur Watch Group. There are likely other TV test pattern watches out there, so if you know any, please do share with us in the comments. As for this Pierre Paulin, the TV test pattern is a highlight, but there is definitely more to it. But before we get further into the design quirks of this timepiece, for full transparency, Merkur did reach out to me a few weeks ago and asked me if I would be interested in reviewing this watch. I am not entirely sure why, but obviously I agreed. Okay, at the time I was looking at the SeaGull $400 version of this design, and Merkur looked like a very interesting and much more budget-friendly alternative. So now it is here, and Merkur doesn't want it back. On my part, I will do a comprehensive review of this timepiece, and of course all the necessary product links will be in the description of this video. So in its core, it is a jumping hour watch powered by a jumping hour variant of the SeaGull automatic mechanical movement ST17. Merkur even includes it on AliExpress as a colorway of a jumping hour Pierre Paulin collection. However, after putting, let's call it a normal jumping hour watch and this one next to one another, I can tell you that it is not just the dial that is different. For some reason, the case finishing and even the shape is ever so slightly different, so something to keep in mind. In regards to the ST17 caliber, as I just mentioned, it is an automatic mechanical movement, beating at 21,600 vibrations per hour with about 40 hours of power reserve. It is not hackable movement, as you can see the small second still continues to run as I pull the crown to adjust the time. Now, the jumping hour refers to the dial layout. The one and only center hand represents minutes, and the hours are displayed in the window above the pinion. As you can see, as I move the minute hand back and forth before and after the hour indicator changes, and changes are quite snappy, which is good. If we look at dimensions, at 38mm case diameter and only 12.5mm case height, a big chunk of which is taken by this double dome sapphire crystal, it is a very, very wearable timepiece. Lug-to-lug distance is also well managed, measuring just under 46.5mm, and we have a 20mm lug width, which makes this TV watch a little strap monster. And we have a standard coverage of the supplied leather strap of 8¼ inch, and this watch weighs only 67 grams. Nice and light. As I pointed out, the crystal is sapphire. As always, I will of course double check. It is a double dome crystal and it seems to deal with reflections really well, which is great, but at the same time slightly puzzling, or at least that's what I thought when I unboxed this watch. I mean, I really don't mind this good quality crystal that provides great legibility, it just the dial is so confusing that it seems to me like a bit of a wasted effort, or so I thought, and I'll come back to it shortly. Looking at the case, and it is also quite interesting. So, full stainless steel construction with a combination of mirror polished and brushed finishings. Now, here is something peculiar. So, the mirror polished parts, the double level bezel and top of the lug, so these parts are actually finished really well. The high polished surfaces don't have any irregularities and look pretty much flawless. Now, if we examine the brush flanks, well, we have here vertical brushing, which I guess is slightly harder to apply on the sides of the case compared to longitudinal brushing, which I do appreciate. However, at a very close examination, the finishing on the case sides is kind of lacks consistency, and the side faces don't look perfectly flat or straight. I hope you can see what I mean on the video, and it is even noticeable on the brush surfaces, which normally somewhat mask those things. Okay, it is pretty much undetectable at about half arm's length, and with the drill lugs, the brushing actually kind of works with the whole vintage style of the case. So, am I nitpicking here? Is the vertical brushing so much harder to apply? What do you think? Well, do let us know in the comments. And while you're pondering this conundrum, well, please do hit that like button. It really helps to move the algorithm along. Right, and before you think that I'm throwing this case under a bus, well, I must admit that I really like it, and especially the well-decorated and well-proportioned push-pull crown. Okay, it is decorated with a Merkur logo, I assume, which is a bit strange on a Pierre Paulin watch, although taking into account that the screw-on back of the case is also nicely decorated with a Merkur branding, it is kind of okay then. I guess that Merkur is marketing both brands. Well, it works for Swatch Group with Omega and Blancpain collaboration, so maybe it will work here too. And we have here 50 meters of declared water resistance, which is perfectly acceptable on this dress-style watch. Dial is of course a center point of this timepiece. I must say that Pierre Paulin did a very good job. Okay, of course, we have here a TV test pattern, which for all of you younger folks who have no idea what it is, well, this is a test pattern that can be used to calibrate the colors and geometry of the TV picture, and normally used to be used in TV repair workshops, and also it used to be shown at the start and the end of the TV programming. Yes, can you imagine? A lot of TV stations actually didn't run for 24/7, and we didn't have YouTube either, so yes, the world population was growing at an alarming rate and something had to be done about it, but I digress. So you might have guessed there is no lume here, which is fine on a dress-style watch. Another interesting feature on this dial is the fact that it is not a flat print. The dial is kind of three-dimensional and all the grid lines between the colors are actually tiny grooves. And even the second chapter ring below the pinion is embossed in the dial. And if you look very, very carefully, we can even see the printed minute chapter ring and Arabic minute markers on the perimeter. And even Pierre Paulin brand name and the word limited under it. Limited to what? Well, I'm not sure. However, all those components undoubtedly add to the further visual interest of this truly striking dial. Of course, my first impressions was that all this bonanza of colors and grooves comes at the cost of legibility. However, after wearing this watch for about a week in preparation for this review, truth be told, at no point I had issues reading the time. Okay, when the minute hand fully covers the hour window, which is, yes, a bit obstructing, but that only lasts for about 30 seconds and not really an issue. So I guess I was wrong in my initial impressions video when I unboxed this watch declaring that legibility here is really bad. Well, this at the first glance extremely unreadable dial is actually very easy to read. So as for the strap, the supplied double-sided leather strap looks very elegant and, in my opinion, very well suited to this watch. And in case you disagree with my opinion, well, with 20mm lugs and quick-release spring bars, you can swap the strap in seconds with your favorite 20mm option. The strap is also quite comfortable, it is soft and pliable straight out of the box, the stitching is well applied and the strap actually feels quite robust, like it will last for a while. As for the buckle, we have here a well-sculpted stainless steel buckle, which is also brushed. The buckle is signed with the Merkur brand name. I'm a bit puzzled though, if they went through all this trouble of engraving their brand name, why didn't they do it on the outside of the buckle, where it actually can be seen? Well, I guess there are some mysterious design rules at play here that I don't fully understand. And as you can see, the watch is very well proportioned, and I must admit that the slim case makes it a very comfortable watch to wear on my about 7-inch wrist. So, verdict. Well, for the price, this is a very interesting dress watch, featuring unique and original design, which further amplified by a very unusual jumping hour complication. Grab it while it lasts, well, they do say on the dial limited after all. And if you want to see my reviews of other watches from Merkur, which to be honest has a very interesting collection, well, click on the video on the screen over here. Don't forget to like and of course subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next video.